Shout out my nigga Ace, man. One of the lifelines of this culture, man. As a battle rapper, we look forward to these reviews, gangster.
What up, though? It's Calico, Landslide, fucking with Dedication TV. Subscribe to the network.
Real sock. Don't forget the extra A, man. Shout out to the Brody, man. Shout out to Dedication TV.
Shout out my nigga Ace, man. Me being from New Orleans, I'm a super Lil Wayne fan. So I could appreciate anything dealing with the dedication.
Yo, what up? What's going on, man? Salute to everybody tuning into the channel. It's your boy Acito, Math Hoffa, my expert opinion, man. Bag Fuel. Could we see a reunite? You know what I'm saying? Could it be happening? Could it be happening? This is like what? This is like maybe the second time we've seen these two in the same space. And no altercation, words exchange, guys getting their opinions off and how they feel like grown men, which I love to see. You know what I mean? If y'all have not seen it, man. So Bag Fuel, Esso and Hynaken was doing lip service with Angela Lee. And I believe the lady name is Kim. I believe she's she's a co-host on My Expert Opinion. I believe she was like an editor for Double XL or The Source. I might be wrong. I can't remember, but she's for one of them. But I believe she was supposed to be on the show as well. And I believe she told Math Hoffa that Esso and Hynaken were going to be on the show, basically kind of throwing the alley-oop to Angela, basically, giving her, like a moment on her podcast, which I thought was kind of dangerous because you never know what the temperature is. You got alpha male like Esso, alpha male like Math Hoffa. Hynaken is pretty neutral, you know what I'm saying? But, Math Hoffa just out of nowhere towards the end of the podcast, he just appears out of nowhere, man. And it was a little awkward at first. It was a little awkward. I'm not going to lie, man. That shit was a little awkward, man. But salute to these guys, man. They were able to pretty much get into a shouting match, but they were able to hear one another, man. And Esso called Math out, on his BS. And, Math, spoke on his perspective on how he felt, how guys did him wrong. One of the consistent stories that I keep hearing is Math didn't like the show Bag Fuel that Esso and Hynaken already had established before coming onto the actual podcast. Math Hoffa wanted them to create a new show. Basically, he said, "I will pay you guys to just create a new show. Don't do Bag Fuel." I guess he didn't like Bag Fuel. He didn't believe in it. He thought it was just another platform. You know what I'm saying? Or some crazy shit he was saying. But in totality, it sounded like Math didn't like the concept that they had, which I liked because it was like a debate that they had back and forth. Esso and Hynaken. I think Math wanted them to save those topics more so for the barbershop, which I'm not mad at, but I think he could have elaborated it a lot better. And I think the lack of communication probably would have been better for me from Esso's end, because Esso's like, bro, how you want to just shit on my shit? And you didn't even give it a chance. So, they pretty much, was just airing their grievances out. And towards the end of the podcast, it seemed like they pretty much was kind of like, all right, man, you said your part, I said my part, so what are we doing, bro? Are we going to kind of come together and, do a show for the culture? Which I think they definitely should do, man. I do. I like the maturity that Math Hoffa showed. He did have his little slick little jabs and delusional parts, but for the most part, if you've seen past years of Math, your Math can be so egotistical, bro. It is just annoying, bro. It's just annoying, bro. But I do see Math sees the value, and I think he underestimated the value in Esso and Hynaken. And I think he's feeling that shit now, just with the views, the different co-hosts he has now. I don't see Mecca there anymore. You know, he got Gap Murder up there, and he got the girl Kim, and he got some other guys up there. Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but it's like, bro, you got to keep some originality, bro. And I feel like, yo, if you can kind of piece and make men's with some of the main guys, like, I don't know as far as what happened with Champ. I don't think that could really be reconciled, you know what I'm saying? But I like that dynamic duo you guys had, man. Like, the chemistry, the conversations, bro. I used to just watch the My Expert Opinion episodes where they just would be in a barbershop, no guests, them just in the shop, just talking about current topics. And those exchanges used to be so powerful, bro. The information and the dialogue would just have you intrigued if you were listening from your podcast or if you were just, you know, watching it from the YouTube, man. So, you know, hopefully, you know, Math can get these guys to come up on the show because, you know, Math kind of downplayed it too. Like, so he did like an episode on his podcast. He was like, yo, he felt like they kind of missed the mark. If they would have kind of reunited a year or two ago, it would have been impactful. You know, you look at the views on the Lip Service show, it's like 170,000 views, you know, which is not bad. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with him. You know, if this would have happened a year or two ago when it was like scorching hot, it probably would have been a little bit more impactful. But I do feel like they still can make an impact, bro. But it's going to take some work. You know, they're going to have to do a couple episodes, collaborate. And I think they could definitely spark some things up. Get some real guests, you know, deep, thought-provoking guests on the show. Get some guests that's going to get some views, you know. And I think they could definitely, you know, heat shit back up, man. Get My Expert Opinion back to the demand that it once was before they all fell apart, you know. But I think that was dope for me to see, man. I was glad to see these dudes kind of be in the same room because if you would have looked a couple years ago, man, they were throwing shots at one another on each other's podcasts. You know, there was a lot of like backbiting and hating and telling certain guests, well, if you go on that platform, you can't go on my platform. So they kind of aired all of that out on Lip Service. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go check that out, man. It's a long episode. It's a dope episode, but the actual exchange isn't to like the last 15 or 20 minutes of the actual podcast. But, you know, salute to Angela Lee. You know, that was a dope moment, you know what I'm saying, for podcasts and just for guys that's fans, you know, of the My Expert Opinion brand. You know what I mean? I think this is good energy, Math. You know, you go into 2025, you know, putting your ego to the side, listening to the fans, man, and being a team player. I think that's one of the key things I think was hurting Math these past couple years, man. You weren't being a team player, man. When you put your ego to the side, man, and look at it, everybody is equal. Everybody plays a major part, you know, in keeping the engine running. I think you'll be successful, bro. I think you'll absolutely be successful. But I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping to see these guys, you know, go on Bag Few, Math go on Bag Few, and these guys go on Mount Expert Opinion, and maybe, you know, they can, you know, keep that joint rolling, man. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You never know what can happen, man. A couple years ago, we thought it would never happen, but you never say never. But let me know what y'all think in the comments section, man. Would y'all think Esso, Hynaken, and Math can reunite? Do you think Math, My Expert Opinion, needs Esso and Hynaken, or do you think it's the episodes and the podcast is doing fine without them? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all social media platforms. It's your boy Acito. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.